Hi, my name is Dave Nemitz, and today we're going to talk a little bit about leadership. And you say, well, man, Dave, why are you talking about leadership? I can read 10 different articles and 10 different email blasts about leadership, and there's loads of books about leadership in the library and at the bookstores. What are you going to tell me about leadership that I don't already know? Well, I'm not necessarily going to tell you something you don't already know, but I'm hoping to frame what you do know about leadership in a different way. You see, let me give you an example. I came across this the other day. It's the 10 Commandments for Leaders by John Elby. Thou shalt be a servant first. Thou shalt lead when given the gift or responsibility. Thou shalt be candid and honest about the power that you have as a leader. Thou shalt remember the little ones. Thou shalt build structures characterized by trust and openness. Thou shalt develop creativity. Thou shalt open agendas and decision-making procedures so that all who are affected can know what is decided. Thou shalt develop meaningful accountability upward, downward, and to the left and right. Thou shalt view power as a function and responsibility and not just as a status. Thou shalt work to increase the options and expand the range of the choice of the people whom you work. Now, when you hear those 10 commandments, how do you judge it? What perspective do you give to this? How do you measure the worth? How do you know this is even worth anything? And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Because I'm going to submit to you that if anything, we should be going and measuring anything that we read, anything that we hear, anything we think about in regards to leadership to the Word of God. When we hear 10 commandments of leadership, do those 10 commandments of leadership line up with what God has promoted in His Word? And one of the most significant books in this Bible that can guide us, that can help us measure what we hear about leadership, is the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is to us as believers what the book of Psalms is to us as believers. The book of Proverbs gives us wisdom in how to deal with people. The book of Psalms gives us wisdom in how we relate to God. And so as we read through the book of Proverbs and we see the different characterizations that Solomon and David and the other writers of Proverbs gave to us, we can begin to measure our own experiences with people. And when we deal as leaders, what are we dealing with? We're not dealing with just with paper or concepts. We're dealing with people. Leaders lead people, not just projects. And so what I would like for you to do is walk with me on some of the main characteristics that I see out of the book of Proverbs when it comes to leadership. PowerPoint slides will be popping up, and I can send you, and in the course itself, there will be some PowerPoint slides that you can use for your own usage if you want to take that with you. When I read the book of Proverbs, here's what I see about a good leader. A good leader is righteous. A good leader is loving. A good leader is just. And a good leader is honest. Those four characteristics are probably the primary foundational characteristics that the Proverbs tell us about a leader. It's not about what they do, but a leader is about who he is or who she is. It's character. Leadership doesn't come out of what a person does. It comes out of who they are. And so one must be honest and righteous and loving and just. The next 6 characteristics that I see in the book of Proverbs are these. A leader should be wise. A leader should work hard. A leader should be focused. A leader should be surrounded with good people. A leader should be a good listener and not overbearing. See, those characteristics stem from the characteristics that we talked about before. If you have a good character foundation, then your actions are going to follow. If you're honest, you're going to surround yourself with good, honest people. If you are just, you're going to not jump to conclusions, but you're going to be a good listener. These are primary foundational characteristics that the Word of God in the book of Proverbs gives us in characterizing good leaders. Now I'm going to submit to you this, that Proverbs not only talks about how one can be a good leader, but how one can be a good follower. I'm going to submit to you that one cannot be a good leader without being a good follower first. I can't lead people in spiritual growth and spiritual things if I myself am not following God in His spiritual leadership of me. And so what characteristics characterize a good follower? A good follower responds to leadership with wisdom, with honesty, with patience, with respect, with humility, and with perspective. To be a good follower means that there is going to be a relationship, and that relationship is nurtured, that it's characterized by qualities that demands an honesty, that demands hard work. You cannot pretend to lead other people if you are not following God's leadership in your life. The final thing that I see from the book of Proverbs is this, that God enables and gifts certain individuals to be leaders, and certain individuals need to own up to that calling. Not everyone can be a leader. Not everyone is called to be a leader. Well, how do you determine that? The book of Proverbs demonstrates qualities of leadership, qualities of followership, and so it's almost a matrix. You can look at your own life. Look at those qualities, those 10 qualities of leadership, those 6 qualities of followership. Do you have those in your life? If you were to give those qualities to someone else to rate you as a leader, would they have no doubt and rate you on a Likert scale of 5, 5, 5, 5, 5? Oh, Dave is honest. Dave has wisdom. He doesn't jump to conclusions. Those are the types of things that you yourself can measure your leadership capabilities. If God has called you to be a leader, He will gift you with the things necessary. And you can read the books, you can read the email articles, you can read the online articles, but you know what? I'm going to challenge you to do one thing. When you read those, go back to the Scriptures and start with the book of Proverbs to get a true measurement of whether those things are really true and whether they're worthy to put into your life. Hope that's a good challenge for you today, and we'll look forward to going forward with our study of leadership in this course.